Hi there, boys and girls. This week we've been talking about letter J, so we're going to read this story, Jump Frog, Jump. It's written by Robert Kalin, pictures by Byron Barton. This is one that you can read with me. This is the fly that climbed out of the water. This is the frog that was under the fly that climbed out of the water. How did the frog catch the fly? Jump, frog, jump! This is the fish that swam after the frog that was under the fly that climbed out of the water. How did the frog get away from the fish? Jump, frog, jump! This is the snake that dropped from a branch and swallowed the fish that swam after the frog that was under the fly that had crawled out of the water. How did the frog get away? That's right. Jump, frog, jump. This is the turtle that slid into the pond and ate the snake that dropped from a branch, that swallowed the fish that swam after the frog that was under the fly that climbed out of the water. How did the frog get away? Jump, frog, jump. This is the net that wrapped around the turtle that slid into the pond and ate the snake that dropped from a branch and swallowed the fish that swam after the frog that was under the fly that climbed out of the water. How did the frog get away? That's right. Jump, frog, jump. Frogs have big hind legs, back legs for jumping really far. These are the kids who picked up the net that wrapped around the turtle that slid into the pond and ate the snake that dropped from a branch and swallowed the fish that swam after the frog that was under the fly that had climbed out of the water. How did the frog get away? That's right. Jump, frog, jump. Have you ever tried to catch a frog? Kind of tricky. This is the basket put over the frog by the kids who picked up the net that wrapped around the turtle that slid into the pond and ate the snake that dropped from a branch that swallowed the fish that swam after the frog that was under the fly that had climbed out of the water. How did the frog get away? How would you get away if you had a basket on you? Shh. Jump, frog, jump. Do you see how he got away? The little boy helped him. Jump, frog, jump. That was kind of a short story, wasn't it? Why don't we read another one? Jimmy Lee Did It. It's written by Pat Cummings. We read this one in class. I want you to see if you can find Jimmy Lee. We talked about it together. I wonder if you can figure out where Jimmy Lee is at. Jimmy Lee is back again, and nothing is the same. He's causing lots of trouble, while my brother takes the blame. Notice the ball getting ready to hit the lamp. It's going to break. Oh dear. Artie, that's her brother, made his bed. He said, but Jimmy thinks he's smart. While Artie read his comic books, Jimmy pulled the sheets apart. While Artie was reading, Jimmy Lee messed up his bed. Oh dear. Dad fixed us pancakes, and Artie said his tasted fine. But Jimmy Lee had just been there and eaten most of mine. See how she has most of her pancakes missing, over half? I heard the crash of breaking glass, but I turned too late, I guess. Jimmy Lee did it, Artie said, as we cleaned up the mess. When Artie's room got painted, Jimmy Lee was in the hall. He used up Artie's crayons, drawing pictures on the wall. Oh dear, don't draw pictures on the wall with crayons. That's hard to clean up. I remember when I was little. I tried that once. Don't do that. And when I finally found my bear, I asked Artie who hid him. He told me frankly, Angel, it was Jimmy Lee who did it. Jimmy Lee hid her bear? He caused so much trouble that I began to see. The only way to stop it was to capture Jimmy Lee. Just put toys in the fish aquarium. I knew about his sweet tooth, so I set a tasty trap. She put out some donuts because Jimmy Lee likes donuts. But Jimmy Lee waited till I had to take my nap. I spread out all my marbles to trip up Jimmy Lee. The dog slid by and scratched the floor, and Mom got mad at me. Oh dear. She put marbles all over the floor to make Jimmy Lee slip and fall. She put out donuts to try to catch him when he comes by to eat. I hid in the hall closet and never made a sound. But Jimmy Lee will only come when Artie is around. That's her brother. Her brother Artie. When he's around, that's when Jimmy Lee is around. I don't know what he looks like. He never leaves a trace, except for spills and tears and Artie's things all over the place. Since Artie won't describe him, he remains a mystery. But if you're smart, you'll listen and watch out for Jimmy Lee. Did you find Jimmy Lee in this story? Did you notice who it is? Remember back at the beginning how the little boy was reading comic books? And then later in the story, Jimmy Lee has been leaving some things out. Look, there's some comic books. And she says, Jimmy Lee, she can't find him, but he's always leaving her brother's things out. In fact, if you look back in the story, he said Jimmy Lee ate her pancakes. But the only person there is her brother and Dad. Well, when something got broke by Jimmy Lee, again, who was there? Her brother, and she was. Whose crayons were those? It was her brother's crayons. And he said Jimmy Lee did it. But those are his crayons. And who hid the bear? He said Jimmy Lee did. I'm starting to think, with all of her brother's toys and all of his things, I'm starting to think maybe her brother, maybe he's the one doing those things. Maybe Jimmy Lee is just pretend, because he only comes around when her brother is there. I think maybe he's trying to trick. I think Jimmy Lee is her brother doing those things. I hope you enjoyed the story. Practice your alphabet. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.